This is a heel rise hold with a band at my ankles. So I have this band kind of just above where a high sock line might be. Feet are going to be about shoulder width, maybe even touch wider. And I want to make sure my feet are directly straight ahead. From there, I'm going to feel the ball of my foot and big toe. That's being pulled inward by this band. My whole leg is rotating in. It's kind of collapsing my foot a little bit. So I want to feel the ball of the foot and the big toe, ground that down, but then rotate out. So I'm rotating almost like my inseam's coming forward to resist the band. That's going to raise the arch and maybe create a little work in the shin and the hips. From there, I'm going to make sure I just have a soft bend in my knees, soft bend of my hips, almost like I'm sinking down a bit. And then I'm going to press through the ball of the foot and the big toe, press through some of my other toes, and lift my heels about an inch. And I'm going to hold here. That's the whole exercise. As I'm holding, I want to make sure that maybe 80% of my weight, 70 or 80%, so most of my weight is going through more of the ball of the foot and the big toe. That's really where a lot of our stability comes from. And that I'm kind of keeping this rotational force out against the band. And you can see I'm kind of wobbling a little bit side to side, forward, back. So we're trying to work on some of that stability. And as you're up here, just making sure you're not tensing anything in your low back, anything up in your neck or shoulders. Taking a few deep breaths to try to keep everything nice and calm and still above as we're working below. Go for about 30, 45 seconds, take a rest. Should feel work in maybe a couple of places, kind of in the foot, arch, shin, calf, maybe up into the hips. If you feel it in the low back, it typically means you're kind of arching here. So that's one place we don't want to feel it. And if you feel it in the knees, usually it means that you're kind of sliding forward or locking your knees out. So that'll go into a couple cues. If you're really wobbly, you can just put hands on, fingertips on a wall and start there. Find stability and then come off the wall. Hands on countertop, whatever you have. For this kind of little bit of a bend, we're kind of just getting in like an athletic stance or in running. This looks like mid stance, kind of as somebody used to snap a picture when you were on one leg. So it's like we're kind of just sinking down, little bend of the hips, little bend of the knees. And that's going to allow just a little more muscle work in this exercise. If I lock my knees out, then I kind of have to use my back. It's hard to use my hips or glutes. If I'm up here, then that's going to send my weight backwards. So we're just kind of sinking down, finding that position, coming up, rotating against the band. And then I don't have to come all the way up my heels because then I'm going to fall forward like I just did. But we're just trying to get a little bit of work through the foot and the calf. This can be a great one for a lot of different issues. Ankle sprains, if we lose contact with the ball of the foot, especially as I come up on my foot, I'm going to go out that way. A lot of different foot ankle issues, even up into the knee and hips. This one can be good as we find stability as we come onto the ball of the foot, which can translate to positions like walking, going downstairs, going downhill. So give this one a shot, 30 to 45 seconds. Should feel a pretty good burn. And then it's often something that will progress, not the same, but into some single leg drills as that maybe gets a little bit easier.